Welcome to the Daily Influence, where our mission is to deliver a daily dose of positive influence that can uplift you personally or be shared within your sphere of influence. While not every episode may directly apply to your unique circumstances, we strive to provide insights and inspiration relevant to most people's daily, weekly, and monthly lives. Whether you are tuning in during the morning, noon, or night, the Daily Influence is here for you. Listen, share, and embrace the power of influence in your life.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Daily Influence. I'm Greg Koleno, your host, and I want to start by expressing our heartfelt gratitude to all of our listeners. Thank you for choosing us and making Daily Influence a part of your routine. Your support and engagement means the world to us. In this podcast, we dive deep into the stories and experiences of amazing individuals who spread positivity and make a difference in the lives of others. Each episode, we explore the inspiration behind their journey, the challenges they faced, and the impact they made. Today, we have Sarah Reusche from Lavelle Law with us. Sarah, welcome to the Daily Influence.
Thank you so much, Greg. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here.
We're happy that you're here, Sarah. Sarah, can you please tell our listeners a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, definitely. As you mentioned, I'm an attorney at Lavelle Law currently. I grew up in Lake County, Illinois, spent some time away. I recently moved from Madison, Wisconsin, back home to establish my roots here. In my daily practice of law, I'm representing individuals and businesses on a variety of issues, from drafting contracts to helping them through lawsuits. And my bread and butter is kind of working through litigation matters and civil disputes in court.
Definitely a necessary area of law. So I'm sure your clients are very thankful to have you.
A lot of people joke that, they don't want to see me often because that means we are fighting in court, but I'm here to help you get through that. So yeah, it's a fun job. It's challenging, but I love the ability to connect with people throughout what I do.
Very cool. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah, what inspired you to start spreading positivity and making a difference in the lives of others?
I think for me, it really came from my work as a young adult in my youth mission group at church. I traveled across the country doing various mission trips with my church youth group. And from that, I was able to see, the challenges that people really do face just to go about their ordinary lives in ways that I never would understand growing up in a privileged community that I did. And I wanted to continue to make a difference in the lives of others and do what I can to contribute the resources I have to help influence other people's lives. And I did see through doing a lot of those mission trips the positive impact you can have on other people, from small things like spending a day at a nursing home to, building someone's house. There's a lot that, went into those trips just as a young adult and, young kid at the time. And I wanted to continue those types of efforts throughout my life in any way I could.
That's wonderful. So it sounds like those programs had a positive influence on you, and then you had a positive influence on the individuals that you were providing help to.
Yeah, for sure. Seeing the way that, wow, me actually just being here for these people does make a difference. I want to continue doing that. And it helped open my eyes to how much, touching the lives of others can really make an impact.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that story, Sarah. How do you believe acts of kindness, mentorship, or leadership can contribute to creating a more positive and supportive community or even workplace environment?
Yeah, that's a good question. My mind kind of directly goes to the workplace environment for that one. And I think for me, it's a sense of motivation that can come along with acts of kindness. You motivate other people around you to show up for you. If I'm here for you, they'll show up, the same way that you're showing up for them is kind of my philosophy. So I always walk into each day, whether that be even from welcoming my husband good morning when he's tired to, walking in the office and saying good morning to everyone. If you're showing up in a positive way and mentoring others throughout the process and just small acts of kindness with that smile, it's going to help other people want to do the same right back for you. And that just in general creates a supportive place to be.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. Thank you. Sarah, can you share any specific strategies or initiatives that you have implemented to promote positivity and make a lasting impact in your personal or even professional circles?
Yeah. I kind of mentioned like waking my husband up, right? I like to write him little notes in the morning, on his coffee mug that have a good day, but that's on a personal note, but I try and take that with me in other places in my personal life too, outside of just my home. One thing I can think of that maybe other people can learn from or maybe do themselves is I have a lot of long distance friends now, right? We start in one place and then we go to maybe college or off to a trade school, or we move and we come back. And that's kind of how my life path went, from going to undergrad at Indiana University, law school in Wisconsin. Now, again, like I said, back home where I started. I have long distance friends who are now across the country, and my specific way to promote positivity and make a lasting impact on others is by scheduling phone calls with those long distance people, whether that be an old teacher I had in the past, right, or an old mentor at my old job, to my best friends who live in Arizona and New York or New Mexico. We schedule those calls, we make it happen, and we get on the phone, even sometimes just phone, not even FaceTime, even a phone call on my commute home on Thursday evening. Really does make it, feel like I'm still connected to these people who are no longer living right next to me.
That's a wonderful thing. We've got to love modern technology, being able to let us connect to those throughout the world, really. I have friends in Israel that I talk to on WhatsApp, and it's really great to be able to stay connected with people.
Right. It's so simple, just scheduling phone calls. But I find for me, if I don't schedule it, it's so easy to just let it slip and let months go by without feeling that energy that we all need from each other and the important people in our lives. So when I get it on the calendar, for me, I'm a very calendar oriented person. I think you are too, Greg.
Yeah.
Get that call on the calendar, and even your personal time for yourself. Get personal time on the calendar for yourself. I've started to do that too. So not only just scheduling calls with other people, but in my circle, but also scheduling that time for myself. Get it in that calendar, and then you won't miss it.
The calendar is my best friend. I live by it. You are absolutely right, Sarah. And I love the idea to reach out, to add to your calendar, reach out to different people, schedule phone calls, so it helps you remember. Thank you for that tip. I'm going to use that one. Sarah, how do you maintain your own sense of positivity and motivation, especially during times that can be challenging or if you're faced with negativity?
This one is kind of at the top of my mind right now as I'm moving into a new home and started a new job, and I'm meeting a lot of new people. And for me, that does come with challenges, of course. And I'm just always kind of trying to keep my eye on the light at the end of the tunnel. There's a lot of temporary phases in life, right, that might be challenging, that seem like this is a never ending situation. How will it ever, come to fruition? How will I get through this? And just keeping that end in mind. Maybe this comes from also, I ran, half marathons several times in the past. It's like literally there is a finish line. It might not seem like it at mile 3. It might not seem like it, right now when I'm in the middle of home renovations at the initial start of moving in. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and finding pockets of peace for yourself along the way as well. A pocket of peace in your day, whether that be 10 minutes or that 30-minute lunch walk, really keeping in mind, like, there is a greater zooming out purpose and the circumstances on the horizon.
That's really good advice. Thank you. Sarah, what message or words of encouragement would you like to share with our listeners who aspire to make a positive difference in the world?
I was thinking about this, and I feel really at the end of the day, it starts with yourself. It starts with being positive toward yourself. That's what I would like to share with people, that to make a positive difference on the world, be kind to yourself first, be kind to others, and it will all come back around.
That's beautiful advice. Thank you. And to our listeners, if you want to get in touch with Sarah, you can do so via LinkedIn or email. We'll put that in the show notes. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your tips and tricks and your stories and your words of advice. We really appreciate it.
This was so fun. Thank you so much, Greg. I appreciate you right back.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. And thank you for our listeners for tuning in to today's episode of Daily Influence. We hope that you found our discussion as inspiring and as enlightening as we did. If you enjoyed the conversation, please share it with your family, friends, and colleagues to help spread the positive messages that we discussed today. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode. We appreciate all your support and look forward to bringing you more stories of positivity and making a difference in the lives of others. Stay positive, keep making a difference, and join us next time for the Daily Influence. Thank you so much for being part of our community. Bye-bye.